What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I posted a video related to the H2. In today's video we're going to talk about something that as a Hummer owner or as any vehicle owner you don't really want to talk a lot about repairs, but I wanted to share a list of things that needed to be repaired on the H2 after the recent trip to the shop. I'm not going to make this video outside because it's over 100 degrees outside, so I'm going to take you inside and we're going to continue the video in there. If you are new to this channel, I appreciate you guys coming and check out the H2 videos, and not only the H2 videos, feel free to go ahead and check out all the other videos. For those of you that have been watching for a while and lately been hitting me on Instagram or been hitting me by email thanking me because you just got your H2, and you also asked me, hey, how can I pay you back for all the tips and all the help that you offer me? Just by continue watching my videos, you support the channel already, but if you want to buy me a cup of coffee or something like that, so go ahead, check out the button on the bottom of the screen right here that says super thanks. You can click on it and you can have at it. But anyways, the reason for today's video, it's not to brag about how much it costs to keep the H2 running, how much I spent. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to talk about pricing, and I know some of you will probably be interested in that. If that's the case, please let me know on the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to make a separate video and kind of give you a breakdown of how much all these items cost, and including older items that might need to be replaced or still need to be replaced on the H2 that I didn't even touch. Alright, so again, if you've been following my videos, the main reason why I sent the H2 to the shop was because my son was driving not too far from the house, probably only a couple of miles away from the house. They called me up and said, hey, I pulled on the side of the road, I lost power steering, and I have the brakes, there's no brakes at all. That was the main issue why I sent the H2 to the shop. However, there was other things that needed to be repaired. That's going to be on this list right here. The main thing that caused the problems, well, I thought at first was a brake booster, and I went ahead and replaced it on my driveway. I'm going to post the tab right here so you can check out that video. I didn't give too much details, but if you're interested in doing it yourself, go ahead and check out that video and you'll see. Brake booster wasn't entirely the problem. The problem that caused all of that was the power steering pump. I was one of the first items that they replaced because, you know, they're going to move it around the shop. They needed to go ahead and take care of that. Following that, we're working on that, and the other things that they found is that the water hoses around the engine and going into fluids going into the radiator, these hoses are the ones that came with the H2. Imagine these hoses have not been touched since the H2 came out of the dealership. So all them hoses were replaced by brand new hoses. That gave me a little bit of, you know, then now I feel better. I know everything has been replaced. If you're watching the video and you're out on the dealerships, please do yourself a favor. I know you're excited. I know you probably found one and said this is the one. Do yourself a favor. Pop the hood. Don't just overlook stuff. Take a closer look at all the clamps that are around the hoses. A lot of these dealerships, they buy 5 gallons of Armor All. They throw it on the engine because if you call it ahead of time, they want to make it nice and shiny. Look at that engine bay. Look at all the clamps around, the ones, at least the ones that you can see. Make sure you don't see any signs of clips that hold the hoses corroded or old, or you see any signs of leakage or whatever. That's one of the things you want to look for. But anyways, that was taken care of. Now, one more item that was fixed up was my water pump. The water pump on my H2 is not the original water pump that came out of the dealership. I have the service records of the H2, and I actually talked to the first owner. I am the second owner. He had the water pump changed because it was leaking and it was kind of like making weird noises. Just under 50,000, before the 50,000 mile mark, I believe might have been 43,000 miles, where he went to the dealership and had that water pump replaced under warranty. So that water pump was also replaced now, because I'll say it's been almost a year now that I noticed something weird right by the water pump, and I thought it might have been just, I don't know, fluid from some other parts of the truck or whatever, but no, it was actually, it was leaking. So water pump was also replaced. Now, temperature sensor on the actual block was not shooting the right temperature. It was fluctuating too much. They checked the sensor needed to replace. They went ahead and took care of that. One more item that was worked on, another sensor, that was the ambient temperature sensor. I had a video that I made a little while back where I explained to you guys that I'm having issues with my ambient temperature sensors. I've replaced those temperature sensors myself. I found out that one of them was faulty. I went ahead and got a new one. Still dealing with that problem that is either the connection, or I must be the unlucky one that the second sensor that the ambient temperature sensor that I bought was faulty. Still working on that because it's also preventing my AC from running, which is also something that I want to kind of talk a little bit more about. If you went to the lot right now and they don't have a clue why the AC is not kicking in, believe it or not, the ambient temperature sensor, which is located right in front on the front bumper, passenger side front bumper, when you open your hood, you're gonna find two little sensors right there on that corner of the bumper. They're cheap to replace. It's like $6-7 each. If you go to a local AutoZone, even if you get shipped to you, it's less than $10. One of them has to do with the AC. If it tells the AC that is the wrong temperature outside, like too cold, it'll prevent the AC from kicking in. A lot of small dealerships, they don't care because that's, again, they bought the H2 from the auction. They only spent a little bit of money on. A lot of them don't even take the time to be like, hey, it's as is. But anyways, I just want to point out, this is one of the things that you could find on that H2 that you're looking at. All right, so moving on to all the things that needed service. Front and rear differential. The last time I serviced them myself was some years ago, and it was time for them to be serviced again. They went ahead, took care of that. Also, my pinion seal needed to be replaced because it's been leaking for a little bit, and I've been saying I'm gonna do it later, but hey, they noticed it. They went ahead, replacing my pinion seal. Differentials are something that small dealerships have a habit of just looking over. If they don't see a lot going on with it, they'll go ahead and spray it, kind of clean it off. Believe it or not, a lot of people that will go and look at an H2, rear differential is right there. Front differential is under a metal plate. If you know where it's at, you're probably going to take a peek at it. Please do yourself a favor, check it, because that could be a problem if you walked out of the dealership with a nice and wiped out differential, and when you get home a month later, you're going to start seeing leaks. So that's one thing you also want to look at if you're looking at the H2. Pinion seal also. Pinion seal needed to be replaced. Now I want to remind you of the miles on my H2 and the year 2004, 220, almost 220,000 miles. The pinion seal, it's something that you want to look at. It doesn't cost a lot to replace, but if these people bought the H2 for the auction, they got it, they washed it, and they kind of wipe it all off. Didn't even bother checking the fluids on that rear differential. If that pinion seal is leaking or has been leaking for a while, you could be the one taking the hit on that problem. So do yourself a favor. Please go underneath that H2 and check for these little details. Now, another item that was serviced on the H2, which is something that a lot of shops, if you go to a shop that's kind of ran by old school mechanics, a lot of them do this. A lot of younger generation don't even bother looking at, even though it should be something that will be standard. The item I'm talking about is all the grease points. Every single grease point that's on my H2 was serviced. I even saw a couple of new ones that I didn't even notice from before. All they needed to be serviced, because in the past I've been to the mountains, I've been over the water, I go in and out of the water, and believe it or not, when you do a lot of water forwarding, that's all the little areas where the grease is at, it'll wipe it right off. And if you don't keep servicing all your grease points, you're probably going to be disappointed what could happen eventually. So Another item that was replaced was the belt for the AC belt and the main belt on the whole engine. This belt is not the one that came with the H2. Somewhere, I think it was before the 150,000 mile mark, the belt on the main belt snapped at me. After I looked at it, I find out that it was replaced by the dealer under 100,000 miles. I went ahead and replaced it just under 150,000 miles, and now when they look at the belt, they say, hey, you better be safe than sorry, you're already here. It doesn't cost that much. Damn. I'm still having an issue with the AC. My compressor itself, it's running, and all I wanted them to do was go ahead, is it working, is it kicking in, it is kicking in. The reason why my AC is currently not fully on working is because there is an issue with the ambient temperature sensor that I still got to figure it out. I might end up having to get an electrician look at some of the wiring on the H2, but again, H2 was there. They saw that it's the same compressor that came out from the dealership, and they say, hey, we'll just take a quick look at it. They're trying to help me out. They cannot help me, so that's one item that still needs fixing. Other than that, I pretty much believe that I got everything replaced. I mean, I mentioned everything that was replaced at the shop. Now, again, all these items on the list, though, these are items that if you are looking for an H2 and you might have found one, you are going to find a lot of these items wrong on those H2s. The reason why I'm not making these up, before I made the video, and I should have mentioned these at the beginning, before I made the video, I went around my area and my neck of the woods on the LA area, and I looked at 15 different H2s that were for sale at small dealerships. And all the items that was serviced that I just mentioned, a lot of those H2 had those items that needed to be replaced. And again, mom and pop dealerships, they do a small, simple thing. They'll wash the H2, they'll probably send it to the detail guy, and they're not trying to spend too much money on servicing the whole truck. So that's the reason why a lot of these items are going to be also the items you're going to find. If you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to go ahead, hit me up on the comment section. If you have Instagram, you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is at dailydrivenh2 all together. They're probably going to be somewhere on the screen. That's going to be it for today's video. By the way, the few of you that have questions about the three-wheeler is a bender haul, and I'm probably going to be making more videos with my son Arnie about it in the future. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.